Oh, yeah. Can you dig it? Bet you can. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Wednesday night. Camel. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. I have half a voice. I'm here. I'm getting by. You know how it is. It's going to be scratchy. That's all I can do. I'll try to talk quiet so it doesn't cut out on me. How are you doing? Debbie's first in chat. She says, howdy, y'all. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Nice to see you. Amanda says, here's your gold star, Debbie. Is that your first one? That's not your first one. Surely not. And why, surely you have a gold star or two in your back. Amanda says, hi, Debbie. And Debbie says, hi, Amanda and Jake. Hello. Figured I'd let my hair down tonight. Get a little bit of freedom flowing in the wind. You don't get to see that a lot. Debbie says, hi, Amanda and Jake. And Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. Happy hump day, camel. I hope everyone is doing good. And hi, Squeaky Jake. How are you tonight? Squeaky. I feel like Miss Piggy on a prom night. Yep, I got a little frog in my throat. Kermit, defrog. And Amanda says, I got my tea, my buffalo wings pretzel pieces, and I'm nice and cool. And my Jake, and I'm ready to get this party started. Well, I am too. If only I could talk, we'd be halfway there. It'd be so exciting if I could just talk and not crack. But this is what I got to work with, so here I am working with it. My mama told me, son, go out there and shake your moneymaker. And I said, but mama, my moneymaker won't shake anymore. How can I shake my moneymaker when my moneymaker won't shake? We had to figure something else out. I could sell cars. If I could even say it, I could sell cars. That wouldn't work very well for me, though. Amanda says, oh, yeah, I can dig it. Yep, me too. And Debbie says, that sounds like a porn about to start. I got the mustache. I'm ready to go. Halfway there. All I need is like a sweaty forehead and one of these faces. Yeah. We'll make a porn. We'll make the B side of the porn. We won't shoot any of the A roll, but we'll shoot the B roll. Shoot the B roll. Amanda says, do you got a bunch of stuff running? You're glitching. No. I have a low bit rate that I don't seem to be able to do anything about because the internet hates me. It works fine until I broadcast, and then it starts going slow. I think they're throttling me. I really think Brightspeed is throttling my channel. Why, I don't know, but I really think that's what's happening. It's the only explanation. I can download things fine. If I try to upload anything, internet goes crazy. And then they say it's my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault at all. I'm going to do this and see what happens. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. All right, it's back. Let's see if that helps. I upped the bit rate to 25,000, which is incredibly low for a stream, by the way. It should be like 50,000, but I got it down to 25. So we'll see. Amanda says, Froggy. My Froggy. My Froggy has a first name, and it's Jake. All right. Here we go. Is that better? Is it still glitching? Open widget. What does that mean? The widget doesn't do anything. I can't help you. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to deal with it. Can you hear me? Is the voice glitching other than what I'm doing? Is there anybody out there? All right. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to run a speed test to see what's happening here. Just a video. Okay. I have two of those open. That's probably one thing that helps. All right. I'm going to close those. Pow, pow, power wheels. Yeah, it's not that. It should be fine. I'm going to find out right now. I'm going to answer you definitively what's happening. Go to speedtest.net. Speedtest.net says... I have to wait. It's going to run its thing. Isn't this exciting entertainment, folks? It's exciting. Now it just cut out. Am I still live? No, it says I'm not streaming anymore. There we go. I'm back. Hi, Linda Davis. Linda says, hi, Amanda and Jake. I apologize for the glitchiness. Apparently, my internet hates me. All right. I have incredibly low speeds right now. I'm live. But I've only got 520 download speed. It should be 60. Should be 60. That's what I'm paying for. Well, I can still see you, says Linda. Well, hello, Linda. How are you, sweetheart? How's your weekend? How's your week going so far? It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. So far, I'm doing good, working hard. Can't seem to get the internet to work, and now it's cutting out entirely. It doesn't even want me to do a speed test. Amazing. All right. Let me see if I can close anything else here. Tomorrow, I want you to call Brightspeed, and I don't want you to get off the phone until someone is upset and crying. And I want to find out what the hell the problem is here. And I'm not going to pay another bill when I can't use the internet. We've already been down that road. They need to come out and they need to fix it on their dime. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It is not my choice. I have the equipment. It's not working. And Debbie says, I am a figment of your imagination, or you are one of mine. Maybe. I could be. I am quite dreamy, so it's probably that. But those can be dangerous. Figments of your imagination. They can make you think all kinds of things. Or maybe we're crazy. Maybe it's all of us. Maybe we're a brain floating in the middle of space somewhere, and all of this is an imagination. Could be. Linda says, So good. I had my granddaughter for the last 2 days. I even had her giggling at the dentist instead of crying. Well, that's fantastic. That's a feat in and of itself, because dentists are scary. I don't know how old she is, but if she's anywhere south of 15, dentists are frightening. So I'm glad you were there, and I'm glad that you knew what to do. The last time I went to a dentist, I went into the building, and there was a chair from the 50s. It was one of those, like, seafoam green 50s colored chairs. You know what I'm talking about? With the foot pump that jacks it up, and it had all kinds of attachments to it and everything. It looked right out of a 50s diner. And there was a tray sitting beside it that had all manner of prodding and poking utensils, sharp stainless steel shiny things that looked scary. And in walked this dentist who was, I swear to God, 150 years old, if I've ever seen anybody that old. He looked blind in one eye, and the other eye kind of was looking somewhere else. And he walked over to me, and he said, "Let's see what the problem is here." And he started reaching for my face, and his hand was shaking like that. And I was like, "Nope, I'm out of here." It's the last dentist I ever went to. That guy scared the bejesus out of me. Don't go to that guy. The old guy in Georgia, Sandersville, Georgia. He looked like he was going to, remove my head from my body if he sneezed or, had a flashback or something. You were not putting those shaky hands anywhere near my face with a sharp utensil. Not going to happen. The speed test is done. I have 3.66 megabytes per second download speed. That's what internet coming into the house. And I have 0.45 upload speed. That's the packets going out, the broadcast speed. I'm paying how much a month? $67 a month for that. Is ridiculous. That shouldn't even be legal. I don't like it. Bad shit crazy. What's up, buddy? He hits me with a $2 super chat, and he says, "Steely Dan, 𝕂𝕙 Knopfler." Yeah. Stephen Wynn and Mark Knopfler. Those guys are awesome. And neither one of those are in Steely Dan. I don't know about the S.W. Wynn guy, but Stephen Wynn, I guess that could be Steely Dan. Mark Knopfler is in In the Sultans of Swing. What's that band's name? Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler's in Dire Straits. Oddly enough, used to be Vince Gill in that position. I know a lot of people may not know that, but it's true. Vince Gill started out playing for Dire Straits. Amanda says, "Oh, Linda, nice work with the dentist." And Amanda says, "Hi, batshit crazy, and thank you, man." Yes, thank you very much for that $2 super chat. God bless you, and I appreciate you very much. Amanda says, "It might be because it's been stormy all day." It's not. Nope, this morning before it started storming, I was trying to upload my show, and every time I would get about halfway, the internet would cut off. It's been working fine for all weekend. Not one issue. I've done 3 shows this weekend. Not one issue. Until I started uploading videos, and then it started cutting out. I'm telling you, they are throttling me. I don't know why. They need to fix it, though, whatever it is. And if they say anything about my wires one more time, I swear to God, I will go buy a spool of wire and I will run it out to the highway and tell them to hook it up there. There's nothing wrong with the wires inside the house, or it would not have worked fine all weekend. If there was anything wrong with the wires, it wouldn't work then. Amanda says it was okay all day, too. I know, except when I'm podcasting. It's weird, isn't it? Batshit Crazy says, Winwood. Oh, Steve Winwood. Oh, yeah. I'm a man. Yeah, I know that guy. And also, so hard to make it. Gimme some love. And yeah, I know that guy. I've played a few of his songs in bands over the years. I don't know who he plays with, though. I guess he's a guy by himself, but obviously played with somebody. I just don't know who. I know who Mark Knopfler is, though, because I want to be able to play like that guy. That guy's really good. Really tasty. Now I have an excellent connection, so you guys should be able to see and hear me fine. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for surviving. I appreciate that. And I'll give you a little treat later. Do they cap your usage? They shouldn't. They're not supposed to. It's supposed to be unlimited, Debbie. I'm paying for unlimited. And at one point, it was $50, and I paid $10 more, and they sent me a new modem so that I could have faster upload speeds because I explained it to them. I do podcasts. I need the upload speed. I don't care about the download speed. And so they sent me a new modem, and it worked fine for a couple of years, and now it's crapping out again. I don't understand why. Other than to just make money. Can we skip all of the waiting and just get to the let me give you more money and fix it part? Every time my internet craps out, it costs me money. It hurts the show. And they don't seem to understand or care that it does that. It costs ad revenues. It costs people watching the show. It's unprofessional. It looks bad. They come in and see it buffering and go right out. We need to fix that. Yeah, we're too far out for fiber optic. Batshit. I would definitely have that if we could get it, but it's too far out. I wish I could pay them to run it out to my house. Amanda says 17 more for unlimited. Wait, we don't have unlimited now? Well, give them $17 more and get unlimited. It should be unlimited. I should never, it's 2025, the year of our Lord 2025. I should never have any issues. I should be able to download a movie in 3 minutes, upload a movie in 3 minutes. Why is that a problem now? It makes no sense to me. I'm running on a machine that could run the country. That's how strong this machine is. And it's crapping out on the internet. Come on. Kevin Bernard, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you. Kevin says, hello, Jake, and hello, everyone. What's up, buddy? How you doing this week? Are you doing well? I'm doing well, except the internet pisses me off a little bit. But I don't reckon there's anything I can do about it but complain, so I guess I'll just quit complaining. You know why guitars fret all the time? Because they're nuts. Bill Bennett says, hello, Untethered Live family. Elon Musk has Starlink. Yes, but Starlink sucks. And also, it's very expensive. And I can't afford it. If you would like to pay for it, though, I would be glad to take it. Linda Davis says, before I had satellite internet, my internet would slow down this time of night because everyone was coming home and using up the bandwidth or something like that. Right. It should not do that. I'm paying enough money. It should not do that. If they got to move stuff around, that's their business, right? It's bad business to tell your customers, and there's just too many people. I know we expect you to pay your bill on time, and we expect you to pay quite a lot of money for the service, the privilege, really. But if there's too many people, you're just shit out of luck. No, that's not how you do business. They got me because there's no other option, right? I can't just go to the next ISP because there isn't one. Brightspeed is it. That's what I get. If I don't have them, I don't have internet. If I had any other choice, believe me, I'd do it. I'd prefer an internet service provider where someone spoke English. That would be nice. And, didn't say, hello, this is Kevin from Nagasau, Michigan. Yeah, your name's not Kevin. and you don't know where Michigan is. Let's start with not lying to me. How about that? Linda Davis said, I read that one, sorry. Kevin says, hello, Bill, and hello, Linda. Batshit Crazy says, traffic. Dear Mr. Fantasy, can't find my way home. Gorgeous talent. Pre-1984. Right on. That's good stuff. Anything pre-1984 was delicious. It's fantastic music. I wish we could do that still. But music has went the way of the dodo, unfortunately. And the only good music left is old geezers with silvery hair playing on the internet for people that don't care whether he's playing or not. But sometimes you run across a guy that still plays good music, but they just don't make it anymore. Sad, really. I think they should re-release acid into the world and let people experiment and expand their minds, because that's how we got Jimi Hendrix. And Amanda says, yes, we are paying $17 extra for unlimited. Right. So we're paying $17 more for unlimited service, which we do not have. Come on now. Fix it. For that $17 more, you should be able to send a guy out here, crawl under the house, and fix whatever you think the problem is. Like I'm supposed to know what the problem is. It runs to my box. The wire comes in the house. It has signal. What do you want? I don't understand. Amanda says, hi, Bill. And Linda says, hey, Bill, Batshit and Kevin. Amy Elizabeth is here. She says, evening, everybody. Hi, Amy. How are you, sweetie? Did you enjoy the show? Tell me what you thought about it. Expound. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Good or bad, doesn't matter. Kevin says, hurt my right shoulder in the gym yesterday. Other than that, I'm doing okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kevin. Take it easy with that right shoulder. That's important. You need that to get stuff moving. Just take you a nice hot bath, hot as you can stand it, and let the water just soak right there on that shoulder. And that'll help a lot. Maybe some Bengay. I've been there, buddy. I know how you feel. And Batshit Crazy says, pun. I really wish you would speak in English, because I don't know what you're talking about, Batshit, but it looks like it's hilarious. I just didn't get it. Amanda says, hi, Amy. And yeah, Bill, I checked into Starlink. It's like $400 for the equipment and $120 a month. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I bet it ain't as good as Brightspeed. From what I understand, satellite can be screwy when the weather goes bad. Like it's overcast right now, we wouldn't be able to get Starlink because it's overcast. And apparently they hadn't fixed that. They can use LiDAR to look at ruins of the Mayans underneath all of the foliage and forests that have been there for 1,000 years, but they can't get direct TV to go through a cloud. I don't know why. It seems counterintuitive, but that's what they say. Amanda says, oh no, Kevin, that sucks about your shoulder. Kevin says, Amanda, it's not bad. Bill Bennett says, if I had the money, I'd throw a little your way. That's all right, Bill. You don't have to. And thank you for what you're doing. Riches in heaven, I believe. Amen, brother. And I'm not asking for money, and I appreciate the thought, but this is a free show, and it is for you. Enjoy. That being said, if you do have the money, sure, why not? I'll take it. I won't feel bad about it at all. But don't send money if you need it. If you're struggling yourself, you keep that money and take care of yourself. We'll make it just fine. And we just love that you're here. That's all that matters. Linda says, I have Verizon wireless internet. I've thought about doing the cell phone thing. They have internet packages that you can buy, like a little receiver or whatever. I don't know how trustworthy it is. I don't know how good it is. I don't know if I can run a podcast on it. But I've thought about getting one just to see. Because if I had any other option than Brightspeed, I would take it. They are not a good company. Amy says, I have a question, Jake. Well, that's fantastic. I'm full of answers. Let me give one to you. I'm sure I can find one that'll fit your question nicely. I watched 422 and 423 today. It said your chat was going to jump. Hang on, I'll find it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, come on. I was just there. Yep, I read that. The cap your usage. A bit too far out for fiber. Before I had satellite. 17 extra. Where's it at? Oh, here we go. I found it. All right. I watched episode 422 and 423 today. Fantastic. How did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it informative? Was there enough information? Did I explain everything to your satisfaction? I need that information because I'm going to start doing things every episode like that episode the next time around. I got it. I found it. When God created man, you mean he was creating other men around the world and then he created women? No. On the sixth day, if you read through Genesis, it looks like there's two separate creations of man, but they're not. There's only one. On the sixth day, he created ℂ-Adam in the Hebrew. ℂ-Adam means the man of the dirt. That's the races. That's all the people on earth, all over the world. But on the eighth day, he created Adam, which is the man Adam, which he placed in the Garden of Eden. Adam was not created in the Garden of Eden. He was put in the Garden of Eden. Where he was created, I don't know. Could have been in a test tube on a spaceship, for all I know. I don't. But he was put in the Garden of Eden. And then while he was there, God saw that he was by himself. He didn't have a helpmeet. And so he put him to sleep, and he took his curve, the word that we have in the Bible says rib, but that's a mistranslation. It's curve, like the helix curve of your DNA, but it also can be translated to side. Like if you split Adam in half, it could translate to that also. I don't know how he did it, but he took half of Adam and made a female for Adam. There were already females on earth, just not for Adam. You have to understand that Adam's DNA is different than everybody else's on earth. He is the first of his kind, right? There are all the races, all of the ethnic people, if you want to call it that, if you want to break it down into those terms. And then there's Adam. The word Adam means ruddy complected or to show blood in the face. In other words, he was a redhead, most likely. So he's the only one of his kind on earth, the Adamic race, from which Jesus would come, and also Moses and Abraham and David and all the people, Solomon, all those people came from Adam's DNA, not the people of the earth, the ℂ-Adam, the people of the dirt. So God created mankind, and then he created a specific man for a specific reason to be in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is a paradise. It's unlike the rest of the world. It's separated from the world. I guess you could call it a grand experiment. It failed because God put man in the Garden of Eden, and then he put in the Garden of Eden two trees, the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. He said, don't touch that tree. You can have anything else you want. Stay away from that one. If you eat of that tree, you'll die. Obviously, in this context, the tree is a metaphor for a human being, and the seed is a metaphor for that offspring of that human being. So Eve was told, don't procreate with that person, procreate with this person. She didn't listen. I hope that helps. If I can be more specific, give me a direction and I'll try to be. If you're not understanding particularly what I don't know exactly what you don't understand, so be more specific and I'll try to drill down if that didn't answer it. Not just Adam. No, not just Adam. All the people of earth were created first, and then Adam was created in the Garden of Eden. Adam is a completely unique individual away from the rest of the people. Amanda says, we don't have any other providers in the area. I'm going to check into my phone service provider and the 5G home internet thing and see how those will work or if they will work. Yeah, I've got to, its upload speed is everything. I've got to be able to get out. I don't care what comes in. This internet's fine for that, but I need to be able to push out. It's all about that upload speed. It's all about that bass. Batshit Crazy, here's another 99 cents. Oh, thank you, Batshit Crazy. God bless you, sir. That's a weird-looking smiley face. It looks like it got punched in the eye. There's a smiley face that's been punched in the eye. Here's 99 cents. And Batshit says, from Billy B. All right. Billy B. I don't know who that is. Billy B. I know who Billy Gibbons is. Amanda says, no, Amy, he created Adam and then Eve, and we are all of the family of Adam and Eve. Right. Eve became the mother of all living because of the flood. That's why she's called the mother of all living things. That's why the misnomer is that through Eve came all people. That's not true. There were lots of people on the ark that weren't of the Adamic race. Remember, God said, take 2 of every flesh. That includes people, and they're different kinds. And then there was the Adamic race, and there were 8 of those on the ark. And that's where all the people came from. You just have to understand that Adam was a different race than all the other races on earth. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that was the race that God chose to have Jesus come through. Which is why Satan was there to stop all that nonsense. And he succeeded. Kinda. He put it off for 2,000 years anyway. Amanda says, Kevin, use some biofreeze and a vibrating massager. Yeah, that'll get you going. Oh, you mean for the shoulder? Yeah. Do that too, for sure. Shut up, Debbie. Bill Bennett says, hell, Chinese Straight Talk has a prepaid internet probably better. It might be. It might be. I used to have a Straight Talk phone. I never had any trouble with it. That might be worth looking into. Oh, Bill Bennett. Batshit says, give Bill Bennett 99 cents credit. Right? Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. Amanda says, right, Bill, we have T-Mobile or Metro, and they're supposed to have a badass 5G home internet setup. Well, if they do, look into it. If it's better than what we got, we might need to look into switching because this is getting old. I mean, it seems like we have problems every month with this. Kevin says, 14 watching and only 5 likes. It costs nothing to hit that thumbs up button, folks. Thank you, Kevin. And he's right. Hit that like button, folks. And subscribe and share and support and join. And super chats are available in the chat box. And if you want to drink a cup of coffee with old Jake, go make yourself a cup and let's have some. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one that has my face on it. It is fantastic. Also, we have stainless steel tumblers. It has the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front. All my platforms on the back, a locking lid, keeps your coffee hot for hours, and I recommend you get that, or a good old-fashioned Untethered Live baseball cap. We got those too. Phone cases, you want one of those? You want a towel chip? You can get one down there. Get your towel. You never know when you're going to need it. No, I shouldn't sell cars. Amy says, Jake said in the video, Adam was the first, not the only. He was the first in the Garden of Eden. He was the first of that bloodline, but not the only. No, there were many people on earth at the same time. That's my guess. That's why I'm confused and I asked. There you go. Well, that's the way you should do it. That's the whole purpose for Q&A, is to ask questions and to work out the details. Again, context is everything, and I don't know everything. But from what I surmise, what I gather from the reading that I do, it seems to me that it's stating very clearly that God created all the people first, the people of the earth, and then he created Adam in the Garden of Eden. Now, he may have done those two things at the same time, relatively speaking, maybe a day apart, but they're different people. They're not two separate creation stories in Genesis. There's only one. It's just a continuing story, if that makes any sense. And Amanda says, right, Amy? Well, he's going to explain it in a minute. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Batshit says, 5G hotspot. Thousands of folks podcast like that. I'll give it a shot. Thank you, Batshit. I will try that. Linda says, we have satellite and I don't have a problem with it. And my nephew has it. And he does gaming and streaming with it. Okay. I've never had satellite, so I really don't know how it works. I've had I just said it a minute ago, DirecTV, and that didn't work when it got cloudy. So Linda says ours is not a hotspot, right? Well, that's what she was talking about. That Metro Home kit that they have, it's not a hotspot either. It's like an internet service, but it's from a phone company. So I don't know if it'll work or not. It's not from this area is what I'm saying. But neither is Brightspot. Brightspeed. Brightspot. Debbie says, we have Starlink because we live in the middle of nowhere and have to stream everything. Right on. When I say stream, I don't mean like watching a movie on Netflix. It's different than that. When I film the show, I'm filming it live. And this is live. So that means that it has to bundle up every packet that goes out onto the internet and push it out live and in relatively real time. I think there's like an 11-second delay by the time it gets to you. So, like if I say something now, 11 seconds from now, you'll hear it. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good latency. But that's a little different than like watching a Netflix special or something like that. Amanda says, we are way out in the country. Nothing around here but farmlands, and lots of things don't work correctly out here. And our house or yard is covered in trees. Well, the trees ain't got nothing to do with it, or shouldn't have anything to do with it. I don't think it's like an antenna. I don't think the trees will interfere with the reception. Amanda says Apocalypse of Moses, which probably originates in 1st century CE Jewish literature. The altar of the Temple of Solomon was the center of the world and the gateway to God's Garden of Eden. And it was here that Adam was both created and buried. I don't know that that's true. There is no record of Adam being buried anywhere. I'm sure he was, but it just says that he died. I don't think the Jews would have that information. They may have a tradition, like in the Talmud or something, but I've never heard of it. But I do know where the Temple of Solomon is. I don't know where the altar of the Temple of Solomon was, unless it was in the temple. And if it was, then they already know where the temple goes. Why are they arguing about the Dome of the Rock? Amanda says that's the most detail it says. What says? Amy says, that answered my question. Thanks. My pleasure. Amanda says, well, you might have to use the phone hotspot to upload. We will figure it all out. Well, as far as uploading videos goes, yeah, I could use the phone hotspot to do that. It'll just be really slow. But that's not a problem. What the problem is when I'm trying to do a live show, if it's going to cut out on me or go like it is right now, going quiet at 917 kbps, that's not good. That's nowhere near 1 gig, let alone the 60 that we're supposed to have. I'm tired of complaining about it. Complaining ain't gonna make it better. Bill Bennett says, maybe me, Bill Bennett, LOL. Right? Maybe. Billy B, yep. Amanda says, so we are all mixed from the beginning, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, there's very few actual bloodlines mentioned in the Bible. There's 12 that I know of for sure. And then there's different groups of people, but they did all kinds of intermingling. That's why they're called Gentiles, because they're out there intermingling with each other. The ones that stayed pure are usually the 12 tribes of Israel, historically speaking. And there are some other ones, but the bloodlines get very muddy very quickly in the begats, right? Everybody's sleeping with everybody's different families. There's even a point where God says, don't do that. Don't mix. Don't sleep. Don't let your sons and daughters sleep with that group over there. Well, there's a reason for that, but also because it muddies the waters, for your tribe or whatever. I don't think today that's an untangleable mess. I think that we have interbred so much that nobody would ever figure out who anybody is. God knows, but I don't think we ever will. Amanda says Straight Talk is Walmart now. Really? Walmart bought Straight Talk? That's weird. Or they carry Straight Talk. That's not the same thing. April Rains here. She says, hello, everybody. Good to see you. Much love. Hi, April. Nice to see you. Long time no see. How you doing? Are you feeling all right? Are you happy? Are you bouncy? Are you enjoying life? How was the Elvis concert? Amanda says, hi, April. How you doing, hun? And how was your Elvis concert? I asked that question already. I beat you to it. Nah. Amanda says, you're getting my text, April. Are you getting my text, April? You make me worry when you don't respond, even if it's a dot or a bird finger. Yeah. Don't not respond to people when they text to you. That's bad etiquette. We're family. You can say hello or bite my ass or something. April says, lots of retired people in the golf community. The show was amazing, of course. In a golf community. Golf. Although you're in Florida, it could be golf. Golf community. I think you meant golf, though. Amanda says, nice, April. And April says, hi, Linda, Debbie, Batshit Crazy, and Bill. Good to see you. Love be hugs. Amy says, I took tomorrow off work and Friday is a holiday, so 4-day weekend for me. That sounds like fun, Amy. I'm guessing you're reserving to answer the question that I asked, which was, what did you think of the show? But I saw that you watched 2 of them and commented on them, so I appreciate that. April says, Amy Gray. Amy Gray? That's got to be a typo. Why is Amy gray? How do you know she's not purple? She could be purple. Amanda says, cool, Amy. Sounds nice. I'd love to have a 4-day weekend. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd probably just sleep. knowing me. But I would love to have one. I haven't had one in a very long time. April says, good to see you, I meant. I thought you might have typed, though. Amy, good to see you is what you meant to say. Not Gray. April says, how are you all tonight? Fantastic. I'm a little scratchy. I'm losing my voice like crazy, but other than that, and the internet's cutting out on me, but other than that, I'm having a pretty good night. I mean, I let my hair down because I'm enjoying it so much, and it's nice and cool in here with my new air conditioner. I am blessed. Thank you for asking. Amy says, LOL, April, I'm not gray anymore. I dyed my hair. I need to. Look at this big swath of gray right here that just showed up and over here. That's not light. That's gray hair. Sad. April says, I'm at my storage unit. Ugh. Oh. Are you living there or just hanging out? April says, nice, Amy. And Linda says, this is through our mobile phone company, so I guess it's through cell towers. Right on. Yeah, I think that's what the Metro thing is, through cell towers. It is like I said, it is a service they provide. It's like a modem or a router that they send to your house. It's not like a hotspot, but it does still go through cell phone carrier. So I don't know if that'll work better or worse. I'll have to try it and see. Batshit says lots of people stream that way, so we'll have to wait and see. Amanda says, oh, April, well, call me tomorrow and we can talk, hon. That'd be nice. Get a little vent action going. April says, okay, Amanda love, are you all right? Amanda says, trees will affect satellite. Yes, but we don't have satellite. So. And Amanda says, I'm okay, thanks. Debbie says, yeah, by streaming everything, I mean, we usually have 3 TVs and my grandson streams. And then my chat jumped. Hang on. My grandson streams when he games, like tutorials all at the same time. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. And so we need a good signal all the time. Well, that's good. And you have satellite. I'll look into it. I've never had satellite. And Amy says, I posted 422 and 423 to Wimkin, and I'll post them as I watch them. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, Amy. I'm posting them there too, obviously, but they're way back. Matter of fact, I don't think I did. I think I started from the time I started Wimkin. I think I started there. I don't think I posted a backlog. So that may be. So it's good that you're posting them there. Thank you. April says, well, I wanted to pop in. Much love. I got to be out of here soon. I'll see y'all in the next one. Love and hugs. God bless us all. Well, God bless you too, April, and take care of yourself, please, and call and let us know what's going on. We love you, and be safe out there. Amanda says, right, Debbie, we have Fire TV, Roku, Alexa, 4 tablets, 4 phones, a laptop, a Wi-Fi, and Jake's desktop computer is hardwired, right? We got a lot going on here, but it never has been a problem before now. And all of a sudden it's a problem. And I don't understand why, because it should be working. Bill Bennett says, you got a big brain, Jake. We're not supposed to know, right? We're not supposed to know what? Adam? We're not supposed to know about Adam? Well, it's written in the Bible, so if that's what you're talking about, yeah, we are supposed to know that because God put it down. There are things we're not supposed to know, like how God created mankind. That's not a thing you can know. And he didn't even come close to describing how he did it other than he formed us from the clay. So I guess that's the only way we're supposed to look at it. Amanda says, thanks, Amy. And April says, yeah, Jake, well said. Bravo. Love you. Thank you. I love you too. And April says, LOL. And Amanda says, okay, April, keep your head up and call me tomorrow. Love you. April says, hi, I'm doing fabulous. Kissy faces and smiley faces and faces with herpes and thumbs up. April says, LOL, I thought I did. Golf. As a deep cut. That's from the first statement. And I knew it was golf. And I said so. And Debbie says, yes, Amanda, it gets nuts. I have the TV and my laptop on, and the other 4 in the house probably have the same on too. If not for the internet, we would be forced to talk to each other. Ha ha. I know, right? Go through life like this. And they say we're not androids. Brain. Kevin says, Debbie, LOL. Amy says, sorry, I'm at work. I'm trying to finish up. I really enjoyed the shows, and I learned a lot. Well, thank you. That's all I was asking. I was asking for constructive criticism. I gathered that you enjoyed them or you wouldn't have went and watched them. I was asking you for your opinion on my delivery. So when you get time, just let me know how you thought about it. April says, was a typo. I got it. I caught it. I speak typoese. I can't speak English very well right now, but I speak typoese. Amanda says, LOL, right? When our internet was out, it sucked so bad we didn't have TV, LOL. I went crazy home all day with no TV or nothing. I know, right? That's terrible. You had YouTube on the phone, but there's only so much you can stare at a little tiny screen. And Amanda says, leave your hair alone, Jake. It's sexy. I ain't messing with my hair. What are you talking about? I let it down so you can look at it. Oh, my gray is showing too. Yeah, I know. People that put their faces on TV aren't supposed to have gray hair, though. Amy says, I found a box of dark blonde in clearance. Really? Yeah, I found that if you're going to dye your hair, you really need to strive for a natural color. Like, unremarkable color. For me, it's chestnut. Some form of light chestnut. And that looks natural. It's a little bright if I dye my hair. It's a little shiny, but it's natural looking. It doesn't look like it came off of a bottle. And that's what you're going for. Because old people with bright, shiny hair, it just does not look natural. But they do make colors that work if you go for those colors. Most people are hardwired to go for what they want, like nice, blonde, bright, vibrant hair. But that don't look good on a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old. So go for a few shades lighter and a few shades less vibrant, but they do make them. You just got to look for them. And high quality, too. Don't get the cheap stuff. Amy says, the kiddies are out. They're messing with the connection, hoping Jake comes out and video them. That might be so. That might be. Amanda says, cool, Amy. I would look funny as a blonde. I seen a picture of you as a blonde. Matter of fact, I remember it. Amy says, I'll help post the library to Wimpkin. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I'm getting there. If I could ever upload. I've got like 8 videos that have yet to be posted because every time I try to upload them, the internet dies on me. So nothing has been posted to anything but YouTube for the past week and a half. If I ever get my internet to stay on long enough to upload a video, I'll get them up there, but it might take a while. Amanda says, LOL, right, Amy? And I have a cream kitten that Aaron named Ice Cream, and it is rotten and was growling at Jake today. It was so cute. Yeah, she plucked him up first thing this morning and brought him in the house, and he was sitting there growling at me, little tiny getting ice cream. Yep, ice cream is the name of the cat. Aaron named her. Bill Bennett says, YouTube and AI want to silence you and the truth. It wouldn't surprise me, Bill. That thought has crossed my mind. It does seem to go out when I start talking. If I just sit here and watch TV, though, it'll be fine. It doesn't cause me any problems all day. It's only when I start YouTubing that it goes wonky. So the thought did cross my mind. Amanda says, I went back and watched every one of Jake's previous podcasts. It was cool, and I learned a lot, too. It took a while, too. Bill Bennett says, I've got my aluminum foil hat on. Amy says, Alligator Alcatraz is opened. That's fantastic. Did you guys see that the big, beautiful bill passed? It's codified into law now. To that I say, all right, Mr. Trump, we've been listening to you bloviate for years now about how you going to fix everything. Well, you got the big, beautiful bill passed. It's time to make good on some of those promises. Let's see it do some good now. Now we'll know. Because now that bill is passed, by one vote, by the way, the tiebreaker was J.D. Vance. It was 50-51. But now that bill is passed, we'll get to see if Trump is telling the truth or not. And all those naysayers can eat it if it starts working. And we start seeing prices go down and money go up and inflation go down and all that good stuff, which I expect. And Amanda says, yep, Amy, it already has customers. It's awesome. I think it's great, and they need more. And Linda says, no, Amanda, I would look funny as a blonde. Me too. And I actually thought about going platinum one time. If I were going to go blonde, it'd have to be like that platinum color, that white. I think that would work for me, but I don't know. And Amanda says, LOL, yes, Linda. I don't think I could go like surfer blonde, though. I think that'd be too much for my complexion. Bill says, no, it isn't. The House has to pass again before the president's desk. Trump done his part. The GOP sucks and are the swamp. I understand that, but I think it passed today. I might be wrong, but as I understood it, the bill passed this afternoon. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's the case. And that's what I was told anyway. I might have to get on to my source about that if that's incorrect information. Amanda. But anyway, ultimately, I pondered the idea of going platinum, but ultimately I decided to just stick with what God gave me. Seems to work. Who am I trying to impress anyway? I'm me. Bill says, House passed to Senate, and then they send it back to the House, and then to the Oval Office desk, I think. Amanda says, it has passed 50-50, and J.D. Vance was the 51st vote to pass it. So, don't know. As I understand it, it passed this afternoon. And Amy says, I just looked it up. It passed both the House and the Senate. So I was correct. It has passed. This is just breaking news. That's all, Bill. It's breaking news. The big, beautiful bill has passed. Trump just needs to sign it, right? Which he's probably already done. I don't know that he has, but he might be in like Mar-a-Lago right now or something, but he may be getting ready to sign it, or he may do it in the morning. Who knows? And Amanda says, thank you, Amy. Yes, thank you, ladies, for being such great fact checkers and keeping me honest. And by the way, big round of applause to Amanda, who has been my Jamie here lately and pulling up things that I say randomly and making sure that everybody knows that I'm not crazy. Thank you for that. It's a fantastic job you're doing. And you deserve all the credit in the world. Because you make my crazy ramblings look legitimate. So I appreciate that. Because a lot of people don't understand when you're running and gunning like I do. I don't have a script in front of me. I don't do research prior to the show. I'm relying 100% on what I've learned in the past, and I'm putting things together as I'm talking. I'm drawing connections to things I've never thought about before in real time and putting it out to you. And when I say things, sometimes it sounds crazy. And then Amanda will go look and she'll figure out what I'm trying to say and she'll put it up on the screen and be like, yep, here it is. This is what he's saying. Thank you for that, because I have no idea how it comes across sometimes. Amy says he'll probably have a big pomp and circumstance to sign it, probably. I would say probably so. He's quite the showman. He might have everybody there behind him, you know. Hell, he might throw a parade, knowing Trump. And Amanda says, you're welcome. Thank you. And Bill says, yep. It did. The House first, then the Senate, barely. Now it goes back, revised to the House before Trump can sign it. I don't know why it would do that, but I hear you. Kevin says, Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed. Better get right with Jesus. The world's gonna come to an end, LOL. I hope I'm already right with Jesus there, Kevin. And I hope all of us here are too. And Bill says God's word is all that matters. Yes, it is. I'd like to think mine does too, to some degree. But you're absolutely right. His is the final say and the authority on all things. Amy says Bill is right because Manchin changed his vote. Okay. Boys, this is like watching a soap opera. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. And Amanda says the Democrats are losing their minds even more. I think Manchin is a Democrat, isn't he? Or he's one of those rhino types. He's a Republican, but he votes Democrat all the time. Something about him last term he was causing trouble. Amanda says they are trying to amend the big, beautiful bill as much as they can. Okay. So Bill is correct. They are negotiating terms now. It has passed, but they are negotiating terms. This is why I don't do the news, because I can't keep up with it. I don't have time to sit there and read headlines all day and make sure all my sources are correct and all that stuff. So I don't do news. But since I brought it up, I need to stand by it and make sure I got the information right. I guess tomorrow we'll hear on the news what all they were able to get out of the big, beautiful bill before it got signed. I haven't actually read the thing, but so far everything I've heard about it sounds legitimate to me. I don't know why anybody's got such a problem with it. It's not like the end of the world. Bill says there are a few senators that would not vote on the bill because it raised the debt instead of decreasing it. And so I've heard. That's what Elon Musk was claiming to be upset about. It had nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't getting subsidized for the electric cars anymore. Which are a scam. That whole thing has never made any sense to me, why they push for things like that, like wind turbine power and solar energy and electric cars. Well, you have to charge electric cars, and you need a grid to do that. And until you can charge an electric car without using coal, you're defeating the purpose. Amy says, I like your hair down, Jake, instead of pull back like usual. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I do pull it down every now and then. I just don't like people to see me with my hair down because it's unkempt. But I'll try. I'll try to remember to keep it down more often. Debbie says, I want to amend my big, beautiful bill, too. Big, beautiful butt or something smaller. Projects are not looking good. Prospects are not looking good. Projects. Maybe the projects are looking good. No, the prospects are not looking good. Well, the big, beautiful butt is necessary. Without that, the world comes to a screeching halt. Big, beautiful butt in general, not yours specifically, but all big, beautiful butts. Amanda says their biggest thing is Medicaid and SNAP, food stamps. They want everybody to keep them, including able-bodied and illegals. Yeah, that's crazy. And global warming is a hoax. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you don't believe that, if you think there's any validity to the global warming scare, just go watch the movie An Inconvenient Truth and know when it was made and listen to what is said in that movie and understand that we have surpassed it by 20 years and not one thing that's in that movie has come to pass or even close to it. And that'll tell you it's a scam right there. Amanda says, LOL, Debbie. And Amy says, LOL, Debbie. And Bill says, you look like Mufasa or a lion in general. Rawr. Thank you, sir. I take that as a compliment, I think. Mufasa. Amanda says, Jake likes smacking my BBB. I do. It's a character flaw. I like to smack that ass. Amy says, food stamps are being abused. People buy junk food and then sell them for 50 cents on the dollar. They have been for a very long time. We were doing that when we were kids. Or I knew about it when we were kids, rather. I wasn't doing it. Maybe. Amy says, they used to be temporary, but somehow it's becoming generational. People have more kids to get more benefits. That's because they're incentivized to have more kids to get more benefits, and they're incentivized to not have a father in the home, which is the biggest problem with the other community, if you know what I'm saying. And we need to fix that problem. Paramount. Keep the father in the home. Incentivize families, the nuclear family, to be strong. That's what we need to do. That'll fix a whole host of problems. Amanda says, yes, Amy. And people drive brand new cars shouldn't have food stamps. No. If you own a Cadillac, you should probably not have food stamps. Amy says, I was on food stamps when my kids were little, but we got jobs and never looked back. That's the way it's supposed to be. The whole idea of benefits is to help people in need, help a mother get a leg up, or help a person who's disabled make it through the month or something like that. It ain't ever supposed to be permanent or, in some cases, mandatory. Amy says, my husband and I, not the kids. Right on. Well, when I was a kid, I had a job. You better believe that. I don't know whether my mom was ever on food stamps or not, but I don't ever remember her being on them. But I know we all worked. Amanda says, when we were kids, they were actual paper stamps and books, and you could buy 25-cent piece of candy and get 75 cents cash back, and a lot of people did that to get cash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had actual paper money. It looked like Monopoly money, but it was brown. And they come in a book, and you could tear them out, right? Like stamps, kind of. Remember the old stamp books? It's kind of like that. And people would go buy a penny piece of candy or a 25-cent piece of candy and collect dollars that way and go from store to store to store until they had enough money to buy whatever they wanted. Gas or cigarettes or crack, whatever. And you could go to some people and you could, like, buy drugs and you'd pay twice as much for the drugs. If you bought, say, a quarter, a $25 piece, you could pay $50 in food stamps and he'd give you the $25 piece and then go buy groceries. People get by. They figure ways around the system, you know. Amy says, those musky-smelling books. Yep. Amanda says, yes, Amy, the ink stunk. I don't remember how they smelled. We got activity here. What's going on? Thank you, Kevin. God bless you, sir. Appreciate you. You are a hell of a supporter. Thank you very much. God bless you for that. I didn't expect you to do that every single time. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Amanda says, there are a lot of Indian dotheads stores who let you buy anything with food stamps now. Really? They probably can get away with it because they probably got some kind of government subsidy. I do not know. Amy says, my senior citizen friend gets $750 a month on SS Social Security and only qualifies for $15 a month in food stamps. There's something wrong with that picture. Yes, there is. $15 a month? Why even bother? What's that going to buy? A loaf of bread and some potted meat? That's about all $15 will cover. Maybe some cheese with that. Maybe you could splurge and get hot dogs, the chicken kind, because the beef kind are too expensive. There's definitely something wrong with that. Also, when you go to the grocery store and you see somebody with 2 carts that are slapped full of potato chips and Coke and stuff like that, and then at the end of that they pay $300 or $400 in food stamps with their EBT card, there's something wrong with that picture too. Amanda says, yes, Amy, I know people who get around that too. It's crazy. Linda says, I don't have much left over, but I've been lucky enough to never have to be on assistance. I'm just a really good penny pincher. Well, that's what you got to be. You got to do that these days. I'm telling Amanda all the time, we need to start couponing or something. Count every penny that counts. I mean, we're only 2 people household, and it takes everything we got to get through the month. And it's because we try to live without guardrails, but you got to have guardrails. You got to figure out ways to pinch pennies here and there, put money where it goes, and save money back, and maybe don't go out to eat so often or things like that, you know. I am not a very responsible person, as you might have guessed. I'm a musician first and a podcaster second. I'm not brimming with responsibility here. So it's very difficult for me to live life and keep money in the way that it's supposed to be kept. But I'm working on it every day. We try to do budgets around here. Amy Elizabeth says, they're eating high-dollar steaks while I can barely buy ramen noodles. Yes. I hear you there. Fab Daddy says, happy hump day, everybody. Hey, Fab, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. And by the way, Linda, having a woman who knows how to shop is a blessing to a household. It really is. If you know how to pinch pennies, you are doing God's work. believe that. Knowing how to do that, knowing how to shop, like me, I'll go buy what I need. And when Amanda came, she was like, why don't you just buy it this way? Buy bulk. I'm like, because I don't need bulk. I need this. So I buy this. Well, if you buy it this way, you can save money in the long run. I never even considered it. It never even crossed my mind, you know. So having a woman that knows how to organize grocery shopping and penny pinch and coupon and get the deals over here and the meats, you can buy 5 pieces for $25 over at this store. And that's a godsend. That's like a superpower. So thank you ladies that do that. Otherwise, money would just be hemorrhaging out of my pockets. Amanda says, right, Amy. And Amy says, I'm not making it. You're not making it. Why aren't you making it? Is it the big one, Elizabeth? Amanda says, hi, Fab. And Amy says, hi, Fab Daddy. Amanda says, I try to buy in bulk or get the deals, but sometimes that's still not enough. I know. Bill says, God bless you all. You guys are awesome. All of you. Have a great evening. Bill, God bless you. You're awesome too. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hanging out. Come on back now, you hear? And we love you. Amy says, I'm so sick of eating chicken legs, but it's cheaper. You used to buy pork cheaper than chicken. Is that not the case anymore? Can't buy some pork chops? Or a pork roast or something and cut it up? Amy says, good night, Bill. And that's another thing women can do that I don't know how to do. They can buy a big hunk of meat and then divide it and make meals out of it. I don't do that. If I want a pork chop, I go buy a pork chop. I don't even think about putting back some for later, or, you know, I don't think about buying a whole chicken and cutting it into quarters and only cooking a leg and a thigh and, you know, having the rest of the chicken for another meal. That's awesome. I don't know how you ladies do all that stuff and keep that straight in your head. To me, it's just nonsense noise. More stuff I got to think about. Getting in the way of all my other thinking. Amanda says, good night, Bill. And by the way, in case you haven't noticed, I'm functionally retarded. I just am. I do a lot of thinking. I have a lot going on upstairs. None of it is useful for everyday life. Linda says, that's what I'm worried about, Amy. The only time I am really up against the wall is in the wintertime. I hear you there. That's when canning comes in handy. Knowing how to can and put food back in freezer bags and that white paper that you wrap meat up in that works in the freezer. That's where knowing all that stuff comes in handy. I don't know how to do all of that either. I can butcher a deer and I can wrap it up and put it in the freezer. Beyond that, I don't know much about that sort of thing. Amy says, Linda, I have to beg my friends online now. I'm embarrassed by it, but I have to do something. Well, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Ask for help, Amy. If you need it, ask for it, and the Lord will provide it. And I've been telling you that since you've been coming here, and it's true. If you do God's work, if you believe in His Word, if you follow His rules, He will provide for you everything you have need of. And it's actually living proof that you're here talking to us right now that He does that very thing, because you're still here talking to us. So I know how hard it can be out there, but I assure you, God will take care of His. I give you my word on that. And you are one of His. I can see you trying to help do His work. He sees it too. God does notice these things. Amanda says, me too, Amy, but I get 10 pounds of leg quarters for $8, and we get 4 meals out of it and make chicken in all kinds of ways. That's right. And if you do one, like you can make chicken salad out of leftovers, you can do that. And that's a good sandwich. Or you can make a side dish for another meal with chicken salad. But you can make sandwiches out of that. You can buy cans of tuna and spread that out. Buy rice and chicken pot pies, real cheap. And a bag of rice and 4 chicken pot pies will make it through the week. Believe me, I've done it. You can make a meal out of that if you do it right. Think about filling yourself up. That's the main thing. Buy things that fill you up. A serving of rice will fill you up, make you feel full, and you don't require a lot of meat to go on top of it. A good way to think about it is how the Chinese prepare food. Just go look at a Chinese menu and you'll get all kinds of ideas of how to make a little bit go a long way. Make chicken stock, chicken broth, and put a couple of peas and carrots in it, and then put noodles in it. And now you got ramen. And a little slice of chicken goes a long way. Debbie says, my husband was bad at saving. It's a good thing I was much better at it, and I am a saver. Amen, Sister Debbie. Amanda's a saver, too. She knows how to do all that stuff. And it's because I'm focused on linear things. I don't think about nesting. I don't think about preparing for later. I think about fixing the thing that's in front of me, right? So when you have 2 people, one that's thinking about what's in front of you and one that's thinking about what's around you, that is a match made in heaven. That's a pair. That's people that complement each other. That's the whole purpose in getting married. And bless you for being that way. Amanda says, pork is expensive now. Apparently. Fab Daddy says, I got chicken legs. Legs are good for keeping my butt off the ground. I hear you, Fab Daddy. If you were a smart man, you'd take those chicken legs and walk right towards one of these ladies who know how to save and make good dinners. Amy says, I created a budget and stick with it, but things come up and it breaks me. My son needs to help me move, but he's not very responsible. I can feel you on that one. Now, when I say I'm not responsible, I'm talking about like keeping deadlines and staying on top of things, but I'm always up for helping somebody, and I'm very responsible with friendships and things like that, but I'm more irresponsible with money. Not that I'm a big spender. I'm not. I don't go out and just blow money. I just don't ever seem to make enough to save any. Every penny I make goes into, paying for something to keep us going another day, And I'm sure there's smarter ways to do things, but I hadn't thought about them. That's why I got an Amanda. I need one of those. I need my son to help me more, not move. Sorry. But he's not very responsible. Maybe you ought to just sit down and have a talk with him and say, hey, look, times are tough right now, and I need you to man up and help out a little bit. Maybe it's as simple as just pointing it out. I don't know the situation. Maybe you've already done that, but it seems to me that sometimes you got to spell it out. Amanda says, make him fend for himself, Amy, and he will learn. This is true. There is a thing about the human body. When you go about 3 days without eating, a little switch flips in the back of your head, and suddenly you start getting interested in doing something. That is true. That you'll either starve to death or you'll get interested in finding something to do real fast. It only takes about 3 days. Amy says, he does, kind of, and he's not good at budgeting. I hear you. I'm not either. Amanda says, when we finish getting stuff situated and going to start canning again, I'm going to start canning again. Well, that's good news. I like canned food. and I will find a good meat market around here soon. We got a good pork market right down the road, but I think all they sell is pork, sausages, and things like that. I don't know where a meat market is where like you could buy steaks, like a rack of whatever. Amy says, sorry, I didn't mean to bring my problems here. Amy, you're at home. Your family. Your problems are my problems. Don't be silly. You have every right to talk with us. That's what we're here for. This is not formal anymore. We're all friends here. If you got an issue, please share it. Let us help. At least let us commiserate, you know. Amanda says, your chat's going to jump in a minute and leave you looking for what to say. Debbie says, I canned and gardened and made everything from scratch. My day would start at My day would start at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. And my house was always clean, and I made sure we lived below our means just to save. Well, that's great. Why aren't you still doing that? Or are you still doing that? That didn't sound right. I was asking progressive question. Linda says, Amy, how old is your son? The rule for all my kids was once they were out of school and working, they have to pay one bill for the house. Not give me money, but actually pay the bill. That's actually really good. A good way to do it because that teaches them how to keep up with a bill. That's a good smart parenting tip right there, Linda. Kevin says rice and potatoes go a long way. Yes, they do. And you can get a crock pot and do a lot with a crock pot. You can get a bag of beans pretty cheap. Throw it in a crock pot and let it cook all day and throw a piece of sausage in it. You got a meal for 2 days right there. Linda says, I have 3 freezers full and 2 pantries full of things I've canned. I hear you. So you ain't going hungry. I got you. I got cats. They're my insurance policy. I keep telling Amanda, but she don't believe me. I said, if we get hungry, don't worry. Those make good sandwiches. She don't believe me. Amy says, he gives me money when he can. And he has bills too in his treatment program. And has high risk insurance. And he's still fighting a court case. Oh, wow. What is the treatment program about? Is he sick? Amy says, I can't get blood from a turnip, right? Now, that's true. That's true. You cannot squeeze blood from a turnip. But you're doing good. You've downsized and you're reaching out when you need help, and that's what friends are for, believe it or not. I know some people would lead you to believe otherwise, but what is a friend if you can't screw them every now and then? That's just the policy. You got to be able to rely on your friends. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. And if you live inside of a community, which is a wonderful place to find yourself in times of trouble, community can keep you strong when you otherwise wouldn't be. That's what we're here for. We're trying to build that kind of community. So you're in the right place. Amanda said, and by the way, don't ever be embarrassed to talk about anything here. This is a place where you're safe. I mean that. Amanda says, I'm going to get us there, Linda, and get a little fence up around the garden area and get me some shelving and start canning and have deep freezer, we'll be set. Oh, you want to do some gardening, I see. I'll certainly fix that garden up for you. Amy says, store the canned goods in a dark, cool basement, Amanda. We don't have a basement, but we do have a pantry. Amanda says, we don't have a basement, but we do have a pantry. Amy says, get to digging. Yeah, I can make you, what they call it, a wine cellar? A little, like, quasi-basement that just goes down a few feet. Amanda says, LOL, we have like 3 buildings and 3-bedroom house, so I will have room. We just have to finish going through and organizing everything. Yep. Amanda says, Jake was a monk for 15 years, so it's a big old man cave, LOL. Blame Jake. She ain't wrong. And Amy says, I love my crock pot. That's right. A crock pot is an amazing thing if you know how to wield it. Amanda says, I do too, Amy. Debbie says, I taught my daughter-in-law to do it and help. I taught my daughter-in-law to do it and I help. But I also step back because this is her family to take care of. And I'm grandma. I deserve to sit back a little now. Ha, ha, ha. You're not wrong. You do. And it is her family. But a good grandma makes a good wife because she teaches her what she needs to know. My mother had that. My granny, bless her heart. I wish y'all all could have met my granny. She was a tough woman. She never spoke above a whisper. Just the most mellow, soft voice you've ever heard. Almost pleasant, very comforting, very soft. She never spoke, never raised her voice. She lived her entire life in a wheelchair because she had polio as a child. She had one leg that was shriveled up. That woman got out every year and scooted across the ground and tended a garden. And I'm not talking about a little couple of rows. It was a full garden, big garden. She did it by hand, kept it immaculate, and grew her own food. She raised 11 children by herself. She didn't never have a man as long as I knew her. 11 children, and all their children she raised because they'd all bring them to her. That was a woman right there. And my mom told me the story of the first day that she came around the house. My dad brought her to the house. Granny was sitting on the front porch shelling peas. And my mom came up and introduced herself. My granny didn't say a word. She just handed her a bag of peas and a bucket and said, have a seat. And they sat there for like 6 hours shelling peas. She said we were inseparable from that moment forward. That's a good story. Amanda says, I will make a big roast and then freeze it and use it for peas and beans, for seasoning, and for pulled pork or whatever. Right on. Amy says, my son has addiction issues. I hear you. He is like his father, bad habits, but he's getting better. Hasn't touched the stuff that killed his dad since. That's good. Prayers to him. And Amanda says, prayers for him, Amy. Absolutely. And that addiction thing is nothing to joke about. That's hard. That's hardcore right there. And thank God he's been able to curb that. That's a tough road to hoe right there. Amanda says, I have a crock pot, a deep fryer, an air fryer, and a dehydrator. And with all the farms around here, there are peas and greens for days to can. Yeah, we've got a farm right up the road where you can go and pay them a little bit and go out in the field and pick your own stuff, whatever you want. And they have all kinds of stuff out there. I usually go up there and get some peas once a year. Amanda says, ooh, I can make jerky and all that. There you go. Linda says, Amanda, I'm pretty happy with my garden so far. Did you get to see my pictures? It's not much, but I only have one-fifth of an acre that half of it is taken up with Tertia's old cars. Well, if you can use that acreage for your land to provide food for you, that's optimal. That's optimal. Couldn't say that word. That's one thing I'm working on here at the house. This is my property. I own it. Now I got to make it provide for the family, not just sit here. So I'm going to work on that garden area and a few other things I'm going to do to try to make this property, provide. Make something happen here. And if you have property, you should be doing that. Amy says, I have tiny little banana peppers growing. Hey, banana peppers are awesome. That's fantastic. Amanda says, I did, Linda. It's nice. You go, girl. That's what I want to do. We have a garden area, but it needs to be fenced up and the animals and critters out first. Well, I can go buy some chicken wire and make you a little place to grow. That ain't no problem. And Amanda says, yummy, Amy. Kevin says, sorry, folks. Gotta call it a night. Too damn tired. Me too, Kevin. It's been a long day. It's been a rainy day, too. But God bless you, and you have a good night. And thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Amy says, and little green peppers. The jalapenos are blossoming. Nice. Do you do chilies? The little green peppers, is that what you're talking about? Like chilies or habaneros or whatever? I'd love to have a jar of peppers with some pepper juice in it, to put on my peas and stuff. So if you're growing that stuff, maybe I can buy some from you. Linda says, good night, Kevin, heart. Amy says, good night, Kevin. And Amanda says, need to find a tomato farm. I love canning tomatoes. So much to do with tomatoes, black-eyed peas, rice, and tomato gravy. It's not gravy. That's tomato juice. With fried cornbread, yummy. I can't wait. Well, you can plant tomatoes. We can go buy you some tomato seeds if you want. I got perfect soil out there to grow tomatoes in. You just got to keep the squirrels out of it. And you can do that with chicken wire. Amanda says, good night, Kevin. And Amy says, I grow my veggies in flower pots. Hey, that works. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You get you a little wagon or something, or a little cart, and make you a little garden in that cart, and you can move it around where the sun's at and move it in during the night. That's a good way to do it. Amanda says, tomato gravy. Absolutely is. It's not gravy. It's tomato juice. That's all. Tomato gravy. That's funny. Do you put flour in it and cook it on the stove? No. It's not gravy. I know your dad used to call it that, though, so you can call it that. But it's not gravy. All right. We made it to the bottom of the chat, and my eyes are going cross-eyed, so I'm going to bed. We survived. We got here, and the internet's only been crappy half the time. And Amanda says, it's not. You'll see. All right, I'll see. Tomato gravy. I'm waiting on it. I like tomatoes. I like mine sliced with some salt and pepper on them. Delicious. Amy says, I have my veggies on an old wooden utility spool. That's right. I hear you. That makes a great table, by the way. Those old spools. I like those carts that you can buy that you put tools on. A little plastic cart. It's got an upstairs and a downstairs. You can push it around with a handle on one side, and it's got the wheels that turn this way on one side. I like those for all kinds of things. Push tools around, or you can fill them full of dirt and grow things in them on 2 tiers. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with those things. And Amy says tomato gravy is ketchup. Right. Now you got it. Amanda says, good night all. See you Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live or a chill stream. Much love, y'all. Hearts all over the place. And Amanda says, LOL, no, Amy. Linda says, I only have about 30 feet by 70 feet of ground to use, less his cars, so I do what I can. Well, hey, that's plenty of room to grow some vegetables enough to feed yourself. And you could have 2 or 3 different rows of different things, too. 2 rows of peas, 2 rows of cabbage, 2 rows of collard greens, whatever. And Linda says, it's tomato sauce. Right. Amanda says, yes, Linda, with chunks of tomatoes. It's tomato sauce. That's what it is. Tomato juice with chunks. It's tomato juice with pulp. Is what it is. High pulp. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I've enjoyed the conversation. It's made me hungry. I'm going to have to go get a snack. Have a great night. I'll see you guys on Friday night, Lord willing, and the internet don't rise. Fail. Something like that. Amy, keep watching Genesis. I'm enjoying having you go back and check it out. Have a good night. Amanda says it all goes on the top of peas and rice, which makes it gravy. No, it doesn't. Gravy isn't what it does. It's what it is. Gravy is made out of flour and oil. Gravy. Amanda says, much love, y'all. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.